Yo, what is good? Welcome back to another video, man. I ain't posted on this channel and I don't know how long, but I figured I might as well record. Not gonna lie, Slick got inspiration from Quan. I'm watching his hidden channel right now, and I figured I might as well. Let me close my door. Figured I might as well record, get my own content as well while I'm making this thumbnail. This is obviously on my more nom channel. Y'all can't even see me. This is obviously on my more nom channel, so I'm not really gonna edit this video or nothing like that. I'm just keep it raw, simple, and then post this junk, bro. But anyways, yeah. So what we finna get into is finna get into making this thumbnail. Kind of my thought process behind making the thumbnail while I watch YouTube. This is always what I've been doing. Whenever I make a YouTube thumbnail, I'm normally watching Quan. I sometimes watch Cool Kid, or sometimes watch who else? Burleezy. Who else I be watching? Sometimes Your Rage, Kevin Lane, any of those YouTubers I'll be watching when I make my thumbnails. But this specific time I'm watching Quan. Shout out to him. Again, he kind of inspired me to make this video. I've always had my More Nom channel, but I never upload on it. I never think to post on it. So I feel like this is something I could post on it. Basically my idea process behind me making my thumbnail. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna get into it. I'm gonna put y'all on this tripod so y'all can watch as well. I do have a time lapse running on my phone right now, because normally that's like, if you know me, you know I normally record my phone time lapses. Excuse me. I normally record on my phone with time lapses and stuff. But while I'm watching this video, y'all can just basically watch me do what I do, man. I'll kind of try to explain it while I'm watching, but it's gonna be a little hard to talk and listen to this at the same time. Like I said, I normally don't really do this. I don't really record myself. Let me take all my files and stuff off the screen. I got so many files just sitting there showing, bro. It is not good at all. I can look at the damn track hop, man. Look at that damn track hop, boy. Hey, man, I'm gonna give me a track hop. One of these. Can I move the shit, bro? This shit, I don't even wanna move. There we go. Give me a track hop one of these days, man. I'm not even sure how well y'all can see that, but anyways, my time lapse been sitting there running and shit. A good thing about time lapses, and I feel like this is something that everybody should do, always prop your phone up and just record random time lapses, bro. That's free content. Like, most people don't even realize that. That is free content that you can always use. You can always have time lapses just running, bro. And it don't even, like, it won't hurt you or nothing like that. You can put little random captions over it and just have a little time lapse running. But yeah, we're finna just get into my thought process of making my thumbnails. Now, I already started this one. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Just seeing this, like seeing Quan do his thing, bro, it's always inspirational. I know I talk about him a lot in my videos, bro, but he really, like, is inspiring, bro. Like, it's just like he even mentioned it in his videos. Like, his goal is to just inspire the youth, and it definitely does do exactly that for me, bro. Like, it definitely does do exactly that. It inspires me to, like, keep going and pick up my camera, bro, because I got no reason not to. But as y'all can see, man, like, the first thing I normally do is I just cut myself out in the video, take out the background, all that stuff. Or not video, but thumbnail. Cut myself out in the thumbnail. Now that I got myself cut out, then that's when I go into changing the style of the background and doing my own little thing with this. Now, normally what I do is I change the brightness down, give it a more dramatic effect. As you can see, we already got like a dramatic effect with it, so it looks, y'all can't even see it that well. Hold on. You already see, like, we got a little dramatic effect with it, versus with and without. You know, it kind of adds just a little bit more emphasis to the foreground. You want to focus on the foreground of the thumbnail, not the background. The background is cool, but the foreground is really what your subject is in the actual thumbnail. So that's kind of what I try to focus on. So we're gonna turn that back on. But even better, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play around with the mask, and this is something I never really do. I don't never really play around with the mask of the and most people don't have access to using Photoshop. So I will say that, like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like everybody has Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, I highly recommend you get it. It has come a long way, even if you just got it on mobile. Like, having Photoshop now, bruh, golly, bruh, having it on mobile now, how does that look? Yeah, that looks, I always try to compare, like, my looks and stuff just to see what I really changed. That looks a little bit better. it didn't really change too much, but it looks better. Now what we finna do is we finna play around with the saturation, change the darkness of that, make this gray. And so what the gray does is whenever I go in and add my color hues, y'all gonna see, bro. I'm gonna do some light painting, and that's what I call it. It's called light painting. When you see those glows and those like really colorful like thumbnails, that is called light painting, bro. Most people don't realize that, but yeah. Let's see. I don't want it to be too dark. I obviously kind of want to still be able to see like what's there, but for the most part, though, that's really the main thing I changed. I could probably add some noise, which is going to be in my filter, and then I go to noise and then add noise, and then maybe turn that up a little. Oh shit, that's a little too high. There we go. Turn that up just a little bit, 16.19%. That's good. You can't really tell too much of a difference with the noise, but actually, yeah, you can. That's a huge difference, bro. I can see it. Y'all probably won't be able to see it as much, but that's all right. Y'all don't need to see it right now. Y'all gonna see the thumbnail on my main channel. By the time this video comes out, this will come out before my video on this comes out. So if you do see this, bro, yeah, you got behind the scene access. I ain't gonna even cap, man. Like, this is really behind the scene access. Nah, that is tough though. I ain't gonna lie. Looking at the Urus, man, this shit tough as hell. But I can't wait to give me a Urus, bro. My birthday coming up. I was thinking about renting one out for a photo shoot. I might do it anyways, just to see. But we're gonna see if we can find one first before we just rent one out, just for a photo shoot. That's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. So now that that's done with, now I'm finna go and play with the brightness and contrast of myself. I also need to mess with the exposure a little bit because. There we go. Now just check the difference between the two and make sure I like it. Yes, that is a huge difference, but I'm also going to check the exposure and I don't really play around with curves or nothing like that, bro. I'm not going to lie. I don't really play around. Actually, I probably should this time because this overly exposed part right here makes me look white as hell, bro. Not going to lie. So I might play around with the curves. That's not what I want to do. How does that look? That really, because what I want to do is I want to make it to where you, and see, this is the thing about Photoshop. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know everything about it, bro, because I don't. But at the same time, just playing around with your images and messing around in Photoshop is better than not doing nothing at all. I'm not gonna lie. I can't tell if I like this more or like this more. I kind of like this more because what I can do is I can turn my brightness down just a little bit more, and then when I go in and throw my glows and stuff in, it'll come out a little bit better. This nigga talking about some stop resisting now. That's funny, bro. Take a little sip from the mud, man. Take a little sip from the mud. You hear me? I cannot tell the actual like frame that y'all are getting right now. I gotta close one eye just to see, bro. I need glasses. This is not good. My time lapse still going. I need to hurry up because I want my time lapse to be dummy long. I've already spent like 13 minutes setting up the camera, bro. What was I gonna do? Oh, so yeah. Now that that's done, I don't really play around too much with anything else. For the most part, this is when I add my glows and stuff. I did not mean to do that. Whoops. I was about to say, bro. Okay, so now, before I do that, though, what I'm going to do is add in my text because that's going to be determining motivation. That's really what determines my glows, motivation. And then we're gonna do it like this. Motivation. All you hating is fuel to my fire. Never mind, bro. I give up. I ain't gonna even try to rap, bro. Nah, I'm just playing. We never give up over here, bro. Never give up, man. Turn this shit white. Actually no, because this is gonna be the red. What the fuck? Why is it? Oh, that's why I'm sure. Like, what the hell? This is gonna be a light red. Don't rely on motivation, y'all. That's the thing. Even it's crazy that I say that because I'm literally watching his video for motivation, but it's like I'm not saying motivation is a bad feeling. Obviously, you know, you should have some motivation to do something, but don't ever let that dictate how you move forward in life, you know, because if you do that, you'll fucking fall behind, bro. I'm not gonna cap. Oh yeah, hating is fuel to my fire. Y'all know that song, bro, by T.I.? That's I like this, but the issue is you can't tell it says motivation. It's like it works, but it doesn't. So what I can do is instead of that, we're just gonna do this. Then I'm gonna do this. Then do this. And it looks weird, but it'll work. Sort of, kind of, maybe. I need to soften that edge up. That edge is rough as hell. Hold on. Just soften that up a little bit. See, most people don't know that I do a lot when it comes to thumbnails. And I feel like the thing about thumbnails is most people underestimate the power of thumbnails, bro. Your thumbnail is the most important part of your video. If you do not have a good thumbnail, your video probably won't do too well. I'm not gonna lie. Discipline. And even then, my thumbnails aren't always the best. Like, I'm not sitting here. Did I spell it right? Motivation. I did. And see, that's the thing, bro. It's still kind of hard to read. That's what I was scared of. I don't know. We're gonna do it like this. We're just gonna, and I'll have them up like that. So delete this shit. Have that one right there. This, oops. And how you hating the fuel to my fire? We're gonna have this one right here. And this is a much longer word too, so that also kind of makes it hard, but I'm gonna just stretch this one out. You can still tell what it says. There we go. And so that's gonna be that color. This is gonna be similar, but in green. And now what we do is, I don't know why that's connected to that, stop. We're gonna go and add our glow. And instead, we're gonna make it a little bit of a brighter red. Just a little bit. Change the size of it. Maybe change the spread of it a little bit, just so that pops off. Then we're gonna do a drop shadow just to give that some differentiation from the background. Like, even though there's plenty of differentiation, or not differentiation, but depth of field from the background, it's still just a matter of like creating that dramatic effect, bro. This might be one of my best thumbnails I've had in a minute, actually. The thing about it is most of my thumbnails, I always forget to do my thumbnail like pictures whenever I'm out. And so it don't like be good thumbnails because I don't have anything to play with. But since I'm in my room and I have like a clear image of myself, I can manipulate the image however I want, you know, as you could tell, because this picture clearly didn't start like this. So yeah. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw in, I have a whole file for editing that I use, and I'm going to throw in a green check mark right here that I don't even have to edit because it's already done. Thank gosh. I'm trying not to say God, even though, well, no, I ain't gonna say God, or not say, I'm not gonna not say God, because obviously, thank God, you know. But you know what I mean. I try not to use the Lord's name in vain no more, bro. Then we got another X, or another basically an emoji. And turn that shit, make that shit a little bit bigger.
Bingo, bro. It's a good ass thumbnail. I'm not gonna lie. Now what I need to do is, wait, what is this? This is my hue and saturation. Oh, okay. So I didn't use this one yet. So let me just show y'all what I meant earlier about light painting, bro. Because most people don't know what light painting is, dude. This is how I do all of my thumbnails, bro. This is how your favorite YouTubers do their thumbnails. They won't show you this stuff, but this is how it works. It's called light painting. And there's other ways to light paint as well. You don't have to just do it how I'm doing it. Basically what I did was I created a hue and saturation layer. I inverted the mask. Well, first you need to add a mask to it. You invert the mask, you turn on colorize, you turn your lightness up to like 29, 25, around that range, depending on what color you're using, whether or not you're doing shadows or you're doing highlights. Then you turn the saturation up to however you feel is best based on the actual lighting that's in it and how close the light is. Take all that stuff into consideration. Then you change the color of the light by changing the hue. And then from that point, change your brush to a soft brush. Put it on 60% opacity, 15% flow. Then you go to town, bro. You go to town just like that. And it's pretty nice looking. Sometimes you got to play around with the opacity though. So don't sit here and think that you can only use one type of opacity or one type of, you know. No, like you ain't got to do that, bro. You can use multiple types of everything, bro. What is this Quan talking about, bro? Oh, that's funny. And you gotta just only use one type of what you call, bro. It's a pretty good damn thumbnail. I'm not gonna lie, man. I know I keep saying not gonna lie, but oops, I ain't gonna do that. Hue and saturation. We're gonna do the same thing for green. I'm not done with this one, by the way. I'm adding like the soft light effect on it first before I add the hard light. Colorize, lightness, turn that up to 29, like I said. You turn the saturation up a little bit as well, and then we're gonna go green, just because. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Since that's going next to it, I can add that as well. Motivation, all your hating is fuel to my fire. All right, so now we're gonna paint our hard light, and you're gonna turn your opacity up, man. Don't turn your flow up, just turn your opacity up. You can turn the flow up if you want to, but I choose not to most of the times because it's damn near the same thing. On hard light, actually no, I think I probably should turn my flow up now that I'm looking at it because it doesn't give that hard light effect that I was looking for. Ignore my fat ass lips, man. When you're like editing your own thumbnails, it's hard not to get like self-conscious, bro. Even though I love my lips, don't get me wrong, bro, but it's like, man, fat ass lips all up in the screen, bro. Maybe that's just me being very critical of myself. I don't know, bro. Like I might be saying like you're not making much of a difference. Trust me, it makes a huge difference with what I'm doing right now. You get that hard light line right there, bro. It's along the shoulder. I don't know if y'all can tell, but you'll know. I notice it, so it's just like if I can notice it, then I know anybody else can as well. But again, you want to change your flow up because I'm realizing that yeah, without a higher flow, I'm gonna change my opacity up just a little bit more. I'm gonna change it to 80. Create an even harder line. That yeah, so that works. Create an even harder line. You're gonna do it again right here because the check mark's right there. Knowing how to play around with lighting, bro, is very important because if you don't know how to play around with lighting when it comes to light painting or how lighting even works, like you can try to light paint yourself, yes, but if you don't know how light painting works or lighting works and how like the dynamics of it works, you should probably study that shit first. I'm not gonna lie. Like, don't get me wrong, my shit's not perfect all the time, but it's good enough for me to say I make a decent damn thumbnail. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alright, let's go to this. We're gonna do the same thing here. I don't really have to change my what you call too low because this is a darker side of the room. I can change my flow down though. That shit's fucking high. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Change. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the best at light painting. I'm not trying to sit here and pretend like that, but shit, I do a damn good job for somebody who isn't a professional, you know, thumbnail maker. Shit, I make my own shit. I'm proud of it, bro. I'm very proud of it. Very, very proud of it, bro. Whoops. That's not good enough. There we go. There we go. Now, this thumbnail is very, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's just like kind of giving red pill, blue pill. But at the same time, I don't care, bro. I like the thumbnail. I like the way it looks. The glows are nice. Everything else is nice. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a little narrow filter. Just a little soft skin effect just to give me some less rough edges on my face. Y'all know how them YouTubers be having like really, really soft skin in their thumbnails. That's how they do it, bro. They just turn on the soft skin effect. Some of them do it twice though. I used to do it twice on mine, but I realized I don't really need it. Because I mean, if you look at my face, I don't really have much like creases. I mean, you can see that one right there, but I'm not tripping about that shit, bro. I normally don't even save my thumbnail files. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm gonna save this shit. It's a good ass thumbnail though. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like this shit really good. I'm trying to think of what else I might need to add. That's basically it. I could color match the green and the. Yeah, I can color match these. I might as well, bro. I was gonna have it be like a lighter red, but I can always go in and change the. What you call? I can't change this. But see, that's like dummy. Like that's like dummy bright though. I don't know if I want to do that or dummy saturated. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But I can just change the saturation up. It still looks good. It looks deeper to say the least. It looks deeper. Yeah, I'm sure this will get somebody to click on it. That is the goal after all, bro. But anyways, that's basically that, man. That's the thumbnail. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That is the thumbnail right there, bro. For those who cannot see, yeah, that's the thumbnail. That's how I make my thumbnails, bro. I gave y'all a step-by-step guide on how I make my thumbnails. If you want to go make awesome thumbnails for yourself, please do it. Because I'm tired of seeing y'all shitty-ass thumbnails. I'm not going to lie. Normally, I would try to gatekeep this, but it's like, I ain't gonna say normally. I don't gatekeep anything. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I be really open with stuff. But you gotta ask the question. Like I won't just openly put it out there. But I feel like this was one of those moments where I'm just like, let me just go ahead and record a video for the More Nom channel. Those who see this, they'll see it and they'll be like, yeah, this is pretty valuable content. Other people will be like, yeah. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video, man. Again, shout out. Hold on, let me take this off. Take this off real quick. Okay, there we go. Again, man, shout out that man Quan. Motivation, bro. Motivation. It really is motivational. Like watching his YouTube videos while I make YouTube videos and make thumbnails, bro. I really do that shit, man. I ain't gonna lie. I eat, sleep, live, and breathe content, and I feel like really everybody should eat. Everybody should eat, Everybody should eat, sleep, live, and breathe their craft. If you don't eat, sleep, leave, and leave. If you don't eat, sleep, live, and breathe your craft, then what are you doing your craft for, bro? I don't really think you like it, you know? But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this little 24, god damn shit, 24 minutes long. But that's how long it be taking me making my thumbnails, I'm not gonna lie. Hope y'all enjoyed this little video though, man. It's been your boy Nom. I'm out. Peace.